What the fuck is going on here? Come on. Okay, where the fuck is this? Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? Okay, so where do I gotta go though? Hello, hello. Jesus Christ, why is everything so fucking drawn out? Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm looking for something and I can't find it. How's everybody doing? Canada, hello? Anchor channel, no violations, compliance. You got him, bud?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's doing all the data right now. So.
Okay. My day has been all over the place. Excuse me, let me shut my door. My day has been all over the place. First things first, new merch available now. Have the day you voted for. T-shirts and coffee mugs at my store, link in bio. Hello from Monaco. Hello, Monaco. Come on. Yes. No scams. No, no, no. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I got a snake story for you, Tom. We'll have to meet in real life some time for me to tell it to you because I sure as hell am not writing that much. Interesting. I have no vowels to sell. Hello, Greg from the UK. Hello, Ray from Canada. Hi from the boonies of PC. Greetings from Brazil and South Africa. Have you ever thought about getting a facelift? No, why would I? Toronto, hello. New York City, hello. I feel like, what's the dude that used to do the talk show? Hello. Larry King, hello. Yes, he has resumed his assholishness. I do not know Curtis Yarvin. Greetings from Uganda. Okay. Quebec, Michigan. Greetings from my home office. Oh, that is aromatic. Oh, that is so lovely. The tariff insanity is insane. I dyed my beard once to raise money for a nonprofit. I think we raised, I don't know, 6,000. I do roll my own? Or you talk about go away from cones. I have no idea what to do now that he's defying the Supreme Court. I have no idea what the next move is. Somebody get Legal Dad and Barrister in here. Time for edibles. Dig in. Understood, Robert. Understood. I'm trying to figure out. I don't know what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how to not go insane. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Sometimes YouTube does not make it easy. I'm just saying. Hello back at ya. Excuse me, I got an itch. Thank you. Love your channel. You can talk all day about marijuana. Can you recite the alphabet backwards? Yes, the alphabet backwards. Good evening to you too, good sir. Love the street signs. Thank you very much. How am I? I am Jim fucking Dandy. Jim fucking Dandy. I don't do shout outs. I'm not on mute. If you can't hear me, there's something wrong on your end. You need to go out and come back in. I have not seen any Dead and Company shows. There's been an upsurge in MAGA idiocy in Canada. You'll have that. So we got one guy saying I'm on mute and everybody else having a conversation with me. So can everybody else hear me? I think they'll target same-sex marriage. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So we've got one schmuck trying to get me to shut the live down. Fortunately for them, it's not going to work. Thank you very much, Robert. Yes, the t-shirt is backwards. The image is backwards. But this t-shirt is now available in my merch store. Once again, it says, have the day you voted for. It's not mean. It's not cruel. It's benign. It gets the point across. And it quite literally hopes that people get what they asked to get. So available in t-shirt and coffee mugs at the link in my bio at my merch store. Can you show us your hog? Can't. I don't know. I have dozens of people telling me they can hear me and a couple saying they cannot. Mr. Wrinkle, thank you very much for the $10 tip. Appreciate that. Refresh if you can't hear me. Somebody want to leave comments to the people that say they can't hear me to tell them to go out and come back in since they can't hear me? Quick question. Do you think that the global trade market can survive if the United States was banned from global trade? Would your country survive? Would we survive? Yes. Would we thrive? No. I don't know what you're talking about with my speaker is on. My speaker's up here and it's on. My religion, I don't have a religion. I'm an atheist. Thank you very much, Nikki. Exactamundo. Oh, the bots always act up. What are you going to do? When did you graduate high school? I didn't. How old are you? 52. You're calling the FBI. Call them. What are you calling the FBI on me for? What's going on a Friday night in Chicagoland? Nothing. We just got back from my son's. My son and I just got back from his bowling league every Friday night. My wife is at our nephew's musical. What do you work as? What does that mean? What do I work as? Are you scared of the FBI? Why would I have a reason to be scared of the FBI? What do I do for work? I'm a full-time content creator. We're a year apart. Right on. Am I happy? Generally. 10 pin. 10 pin. Your wife is getting railed out right now by real men. Real man. Would a real man be somebody that can't actually put their name and face behind their words, like you? You coward sack of shit. Hang on a second. Let me go ahead and put you in timeout. That way you can keep screaming into the yawning chasm that is the internet, but we're not going to hear you. Oh, what's with the bully boys? They have no life. I'd love to create content, then create content. I'm serious. If you can figure out something to film and put on YouTube, you can quit your job eventually. Invisible chatter is still typing. Yeah, let him. Let him. You're afraid of what? You're dating my son? Really? Tell me something about him. Opinion of woke Disney Snow White? My opinion is anybody who uses the term woke to describe anything that scares them is a fucking idiot. My state, Tennessee, will likely be the best, or the last one, or the last to make THC legal for medical and recreational uses. Perhaps, then again, it could also just be that they're not going to have legal THC until it becomes legal federally. Yeah, if I hear somebody use the term woke to describe something they don't like, something they don't understand, or something that scares them, immediately I know I'm dealing with a dumbass. That truck is woke, that beer is woke, that car company is woke, that clothing brand is woke, that coffee maker is woke, that cereal is woke. No, it's not. You're just dumb. It's not woke. You're just dumb. Oh, you donated $100 to my super chat? You actually have to make the donation. You can't just say it in the comment section. I get notified when those happen. You fucking chamoke. Shit. Love your channel. What's my favorite Dead song? I do not have a Dead song. I am not high. I am slightly buzzed, though. Remember the days when the most outrageous thing we saw was Dan Quayle misspelling potato? Yes, I do. That was like a fucking controversy. Like national headlines. Holy shit, the vice president misspelled potato. Now, you know, you can do whatever the fuck you want as president. No, it's not that we have a president that doesn't know what a potato is. I'm sure Trump knows what a potato is. I mean, after all, he's related to them. Having said that, we have a president that has no idea how much a potato costs, has never shopped for a potato, has never prepared a potato, has no idea what the real life is out there of people who buy and prepare their own potatoes. Okay, time to take more trash out. Excuse me. There you go. Now, if only that was the problem. Remember when Obama wore a tan suit? Yep, I remember when Obama putting his feet up on the Resolute desk in the Oval Office was considered a sin. It's just such a simple word, groceries. Nobody's ever heard of it before. Nobody uses such a word, except real people use it all the time. Hey, I got to go to the grocery store. Hey, I got to pick up the groceries. Hey, I got a grocery order. Hey, I got to go grocery shopping. The guy's a fucking idiot, an imbecile, dumber than a fucking sack of hammers. I mean, just has the brain mentality of a shit stain. Michelle's bare shoulders. I remember that one as well. Everybody was clutching their pearls because Michelle Obama wore a sleeveless dress. Oh my God. My jaw hit the floor. I thought, is he, what? How am I doing? I'm doing all right. Am I a biker? Nope. That is the rumor that Trump eats McDonald's every day. That is the rumor. I know that the story behind his love of fast food, he's admitted this in interviews. He believes that it's there's a lesser chance of getting poisoned. That you cannot have that many locations and serve that many people by putting out a product that's going to sicken you, make you ill, poison you. And so it's for safety reasons that he continuously eats fast food. Believe it or not. Yes, yes, that's true, Vicky. Okay, so what, we're just going to have imbeciles come in here and just say Trump? I mean, that's fine. You can say that. We're just going to mute you. And then you can say Trump 9 million times and we'll never see it. You will be the only one to see it. And the thought of that just makes my nipples hard. The thought of you just fucking Trump, 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 Trump into your phone and nobody seeing any of that hard work is just, I mean, it's spectacular. Smooth move by Canada. Cutting glass with those bad boys. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. Excellent values. Who says I have excellent values? Who do you believe created me? Who do I believe created me? My father and mother. Tom Powell and Ethel LaFura. Tom Powell fucked Ethel LaFura in the backseat of a car in the parking lot of Gene and Jude's Hot Dogs in 1971, and I was created. I went to get hot dogs with my father, and I went home with my mother. Am I on Bluesky? Yes. There's a link in my bio that'll take you to links to all of my social media. I'm on Bluesky, Threads, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Truth Social, Snapchat, Clapper, obviously YouTube, TikTok, Substack. How old are you? 110? No, 52. J. Cruz, thank you very much for the tip. What happens after I die? Lights out. End of consciousness. Am I a hobo? Yes. Yeah. I'm in a hobo sitting here in my home office with a fucking $700 guitar on the wall. Yes. I'm a hobo. Do I ever sleep? Yeah, I sleep every night. Every fucking night. Do you think you'll go to heaven? I don't believe heaven exists. I do a live stream here on YouTube every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central. Put that in your calendars. Every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, is Taco Tuesdays with Tom, where we talk about the news of the week, whatever has happened, whatever is happening, for about an hour and a half, every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central. This person just ate some pizza. Right on. Do you play guitar? Nope. Don't know how. Favorite movie? The Godfather. Right on, Tom. Do you support Palestine or Israel? Yes. Favorite comedy? Don't know. I'd have to really sit down and think about it. There's a lot of really great comedies out there. Do you like Soundgarden? They're okay. I don't have a favorite president. I never watched Game of Thrones. Pearl Jam is okay. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I think it's about a half a face court. Star Wars or Star Trek. Both are phenomenal. Star Wars is a superior franchise, but both are phenomenal. So, what you support Palestine? I support the people of Palestine and Israel because the people of Palestine and Israel don't deserve to be caught in the middle of this bullshit that's been going on between the governments of Palestine and Israel. The people of Palestine and Israel don't deserve to be caught between Hamas and Netanyahu. Robbie Hutchinson, thank you very much for the $2 tip. Miss Susie had a steamboat. The steamboat had a bell. Never heard that one. Sorry. Wonder Years was okay. Now you're mixing up the woodchuck thing, and I don't know the way that you put it in your order, so I can't possibly recite that. Do you watch pro wrestling? No, not for many years. I did have a chance to be in the building in Indiana when Andre the Giant beat Hulk Hogan and then sold the championship belt to Ted DiBiase for $1 million. So that was fun, but I haven't watched wrestling like since then. Like it just. How did I acquire this scar right here? Early in my landscape career, I was working up in a tree with a chainsaw on a very, very hot day along in the north suburbs of Chicago, and I fell out of the tree and like hit some shit on the way down, and I dehydrated. I didn't keep enough fluids in me, and when I came to, my crew was standing over me, wondering if I was dead or not. But that's how that, yeah, it happened. Listen, bones heal, pain is temporary, and chicks dig scars. Just, you know what I mean? So, and then, the rest of the lines are from age and weather. I spent my whole fucking life outdoors. My whole fucking life was spent outdoors. I was born in 1972, which means in my youth, I played outdoors. And then we played sports outside in our teen years. And then in my 20s, I lived outside for 4 years. I lived in a tent. And then I did 26 years in the landscape industry where I worked outside every day. So all of this is just fucking weathered and beaten and battered. And that's why I look 110 at 52. I never in a million years thought I was going to do video content. I always thought it was going to be Facebook and Twitter, which is what I did for years and years and years and years and years, because I have a face for radio. So I never really thought video content was something that was going to happen for me. And then my wife pushed me to get on TikTok in December of 2020, and 1.5 million followers later, all of my platforms, including my YouTube channel, are growing, which is what I really wanted to grow, was my YouTube channel. I'd love for my YouTube platform to rival my TikTok platform. 1.5 million subscribers? Yes, please. Besides your wife, what prompted you to do social media? Well, I had been doing social media for years, and I had always ebbed and flowed with the amount of content that I created. I was in the landscape industry, so in the spring, summer, and fall, I didn't do a ton of content because I was working my ass off. But in the wintertime, there was nothing to do, so my content spiked. And when my content would spike on Facebook and Twitter, I would notice that people would like be more engaged. They'd like shit that I had to talk about. And then when my wife suggested that I retire in 2018, in February or in January of 2018, and ultimately I did retire in February of 2018, she said, why don't you write a book about your life? And so I did. And then I put the book out there, and she goes, why don't you start a podcast to talk about the book? And so I did. And then I wrote a second book, and I started a second podcast, and the kept doing content, and the following kept growing and kept growing and kept growing. And then her job was on, her company was about to go under. And then she's like, we got to figure out a way to monetize all this shit that you've built up doing this just, passively, just for kicks. We got to be able to monetize this. And she figured it all out and monetized my platforms. And now she doesn't have to work. So, she hasn't worked since the last day of May last year. And if things keep going the way they're going, she won't have to work for some time. Thank you, hippie lover. Can you post on Bluesky when you are about to go live? I can try. I always forget to kind of cross market that shit, but I can try. What is the most interesting story or event from my life? I don't know. That's kind of an on the spot thing. I don't know. It's not a fad. It's a regular joint. It's just a joint. It's a nice joint. Boy, it smells so good. I tell you right now, it's so good. Have you thought about doing a speaking gig at some local venues? I don't think anybody would come out to see me. Honestly. I think that people like to see it on social media, but it's another thing to actually come out. And remember, I have the 1.5 million people that I have following me on TikTok. They're from all over the place. So they're not just from the Chicagoland area. Nobody's flying in to see me say anything when they can see me say it on social media for free. You know what I mean? Earliest memory. Poof. I don't know. That's a good question. Please tell me that black licorice is evil and you hate it. Oh yeah, no, black licorice is horrible. Black licorice is absolutely never an option. Peeps are never an option. Circus peanuts are never an option. Yeah. Oof. Have you ever done drag? No. Cones changed the game. Yes, they did. They changed my game. That's for goddamn sure. I made one video on TikTok talking about cones and how it relates to people of my generation, and next thing you know, I got 3 years worth of fucking cones stacked up in my fucking closet. Jesus. Fall of 92. Orange, what is this? Thank you, Ryan Nickens. I appreciate it. Did you see my video on my page from Peoria, hands off? I don't know that I did. Did you know what MAGA means in Nigeria? I do not. You could hold an event at a local Chicago restaurant, maybe partner with another Chicagoland creator, and host it as a charity event for, say, a local animal shelter. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. I've spoken to other Chicagoland creators in the past about doing something, and I've just never been able to make anything materialize. And so, I don't know. Maybe. I never got to see Brent. Unfortunately, I never got to see that connection between Brent and Jerry. Indica or sativa? Yes. I prefer sativa, but I don't fucking put it. I don't know. My guy just gave me this sack, pulled a little bit out of here and had some. But like, there's a little bit of everything going on in here. There's some of this shit up in here that's got a little bit, some of that red hair on it. There's some shit down here in the bottom that almost looks frosted. He knows I don't give a shit about the name, so he pulled out a few different varieties and threw it together for me. It's like, it's a nice little sampler. You know what I mean? What are you doing? I'm talking on a live. How many Cadbury cream? Oh no, Cadbury cream eggs are disgusting. Grotesque. Hal Sparks. I've seen him do some comedy back in the day. I have never been to the Crossroads in Mississippi. Please look up the definition when you have a minute. Okay. Is there a strain that doesn't cause extreme dry mouth? If there is, I haven't met the motherfucker. Cadbury cream eggs are vile. Vile. Like, unacceptably vile. Adam Thompson, thank you very much for the tip. He says, Tom, love your channel. I moved to Chicago a couple years ago from Indiana, but I still work in Indiana. My MAGA co-workers think Illinois is the worst place on earth, but I have no regrets. Yeah, everybody is disillusioned about Illinois for some reason. I don't know why. You have to stick up for Cadbury cream eggs. Listen, if that's your jam, then you do it, man. For me, there's no way. Like, I can't eat that. I can't eat a peep. Candy corn. Like, I can't do candy corn, right? And candy corn it tricks you every year. Candy corn is the McRib of the candy world. You know what I'm saying? Every year, candy corn comes back, and you see a bowl of it there, and you're like, ooh, candy corn. And you go to taste some, and it's like, oh, damn, I remember why I don't eat candy corn. Same thing with the McRib. Hey, the McRib is back. Look at that, man. That's a fucking rib sandwich. And then you get a McRib, and you go, holy fucking shit. Now I remember why I don't eat McRibs. If they kept the McRib on the menu year round, they would never sell any. They get rid of it long enough for you to fucking, oh man, I forgot. And then it's like, oh man, you know what I could use? I could use a fucking rib sandwich because that would be fucking good with some tangy barbecue sauce. And then they put that pile of fucking shit in a fucking paper wrapper and hand it to you, and you go, yeah. I'm going to try that again. And then you get fucking tricked into that shit, man. It's like going back to your fucking ex. Stop fucking your ex. All right? There's a reason why you stopped fucking your ex, because your ex was a bad fuck. So stop fucking your ex. Same thing with the McRib. Same thing with candy corn. Same thing with Peeps. Stop it. Stop it. Stop fucking your ex. It's bad for business. Had to go pick up our taxes today. I'll tell you something. If let me tell you, hang on. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to show you anything, but let me just tell you something. Okay. Now, this year's taxes that we just filed for 2024. That is the first time that our income has been more predominantly generated from our own businesses, okay, as opposed to a predominant amount of most of our income coming from one of us being employed with somebody, right? So we've been working on trying to build these businesses for a few years, but Renee has always been employed, and as a result of that, most of our income was W-2 income, not personal company income. This year, that has changed. So, here we go. Last year's return, when the income was predominantly from W-2 employment, our marginal tax rate was 22%. Our effective tax rate was 13%. Okay, that's when our income was predominantly from a W-2 employment. Marginal 22%, effective 13%. This year's tax return, because most of our income is now from self-employment, our marginal tax rate is 12% and our effective tax rate is 11%. That's what Republicans do to the economy and to taxes. If you work for yourself, you get a break. You work for somebody else, you go fuck yourself. A W-2 is when you go to work for somebody else and you get a taxable paycheck. A 1099 is if you're a contractor for somebody else, or perhaps you running your own company as a 1099. Hello, Sacramento. Yes, I get it. You like butts. Now you can keep saying butts all you want because you've been putting time out and we're not going to be able to see it. So keep saying butts. Butts, 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 butts. Tom, what is your hobby? Smoking weed, eating tacos, kayaking, and fucking, probably. I mean, that's pretty much the list. Travel. I like to travel. It's just, whew, it's an expensive hobby to have. You know what I mean? I'd like to travel, but have you ever been to Ireland? I have not. Well, isn't that interesting? Would you be interested in collaborating with other YouTubers, like a group chat? Potentially. You could send me information about it. I don't know who I would anoint as president. I know you like green beans, but do you like edibles? I would love to like edibles, but they don't have any effect on me. Do I do voice acting? I do not. Yeah, the trolls are always trolling. What are you going to do? Did you get the second chicken from Tractor Supply? No, but there's a lot of summer to go. I'm just saying. Do you golf? No. Any helpful hints for my first smoke? No. And I urge everybody to not take advice from strangers on the internet. Did you write that book your wife suggested? I actually wrote 2 books. I have written 2 books. And here they are. The first book is called, almost got it backwards there, A Grateful Life, the life story of a husband, father, and taco-loving deadhead. And it is the first 45 years of my life. These are tacos with rice, chips, and margarita, and whatnot, what have you, and a map to Chicagoland at my favorite Mexican restaurant, Casa Maya, sitting there at the table. And this is a physical ticket, and the ticket is the title to the book. And so it's a ticket to like a concert, okay? And the concert is A Grateful Life, presented by Tom Powell Jr. So that's the title of the book. And then it says underneath, the life story of a husband, father, and taco-loving deadhead, the subtitle. The date of the concert is Saturday, May 13th, 1972. That's my birthday. Doors open at 12:13 p.m. That's the time I was born. BYOB and 420 friendly. That's self-explanatory. The concert is at Gottlieb Hospital, Melrose Park, Illinois. That's where I was born. Price of admission, $6.07. That's how much I weighed, 6 pounds, 7 ounces. Admit 1, lawn seating. And you see it says ticket number 001. This is a physical ticket. I had 300 of these made. And then I stamped holes in the rest of them and ran some hemp wire through there and put a couple of beads on the end and sold them as bookmarks. I still have a bunch available. But that's the first book I wrote. That's the memoir of the first 45 years of my life. And then when we went into quarantine in Illinois during the COVID thing, I was retired. So when the kids came home from school and needed to be homeschooled, and my wife was an essential worker and still worked outside of the house, I wrote my wife a letter, quote unquote, every single day in the form of a Facebook post that was written like a letter. You know, think about the old memes about like soldiers on the front line during the Civil War, and they would write back home to their true love, dearest Prudence. Morale is low. All may be lost soon, right? Think of that form. And I started every letter, dearest Renee. And I wrote, I think there's 78 or 79 days in a row, I wrote one of these letters. And I described the house as if it was a fort on the front line of the war, the kids as if they were troops, soldiers in the fort, the animals, our pets, as if they were the livestock that lived amongst us. And I, when that wrapped up, I collected all of those letters, and I put them in this book here called Dearest Renee: Letters from the Coronavirus War of 2020. And so this is a collection of them with some explanation to some of them. This cover, this is an actual patch like you would see like on an old military guy's hat, sitting at the restaurant. This is an actual patch. It says quarantine veteran, and you can see it's got the lime, the COVID thing, the toilet paper. I bought the patch, and I was trying to figure out what to do with it. And I took, at the time, my young son's black camo underwear and laid them out on the deck and put the patch on him and stood over him with the camera, looking down, and took the picture and wound up with that cover. And then just laid text over the top of it. Anyway, that's the collection of letters that I wrote my wife. Those two books are available in paperback or ebook formats at the link in my bio. If you buy them in paperback, I get more money. I don't think I have a favorite song. I don't fish. It's not my jam. Jesus will always love me. Well, you tell him I appreciate the offer, but my asshole's exit only. Is Gary, Indiana as bad as they say? Yeah, it's pretty bad. Have you ever eaten at Taco John's? No. How'd you go about getting them printed? I self-published them on Amazon's self-publishing site called Kindle Direct Publishing. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy, and then once it's up and running, it's available on Amazon. And if it takes off, if you do it the right way, and it takes off, and the publisher wants to publish you, you can move it from Amazon to the publisher. But that's how, like, my books are available on Amazon. I know Amazon's the evil corporate giant, but they also help a lot of small businesses, and they help a lot of self-published authors. Love the new shirts. Thank you very much. The new shirts available now in the store. Link in my bio. Have the day you voted for. This is available in t-shirt and coffee mug right now. Do you drink beer? I don't drink, period. Like 1 or 2 drinks a year at best. I am not a drinker. That is not how I alter my mind. I never did like what alcohol did to me. We go on a 7-day cruise, I might have a margarita. We go to Jamaica for 10 days, I might have 2 margaritas, maybe. If you're in Jamaica and you have a choice between having a stiff drink or many stiff drinks or the shit that naturally grows on that island, it's fucking everywhere. Why would you ever choose alcohol? I'm just saying. I like A&W. Hey, listen, A&W made a mean-ass burger back in the day. IVC loss was tough? Yes, it was. But these things happen. Bought a garbage bag full of weed from a guy who checked me into the hotel in the grill. I'm telling you, it's fucking everywhere. You get off the plane and they're asking you, you want some? Have you ever had alcohol? Of course I have. I don't even have a clue who would win the 2028 Democratic nomination. It's so far away. We have a whole midterm to get through. Thoughts on Motorhead? They're all right. I mean, just all right for me. Are you good at math? No. First time I smoked weed, 13 years old. I was brought round after round. A couple Aussie merchant sailors, best time of my life. I can't remember the exact date, David, but like I was telling the person earlier, fall of 92. Where? The Mauritius Islands? Where is that, if you don't mind me asking? I've been told I can make a mean margarita. The only mixed drink I think I've ever made in the house is a 7 and 7. I don't know what 12 times 13 is off the top of my head. I stole bubble gum when 10 years. I didn't come here to do math. What the fuck? Much respect for what doing and stand firm on truth from England. Bless up. Thank you very much. I don't know what you should do about the fact that it still bothers you that you stole bubble gum at 10 years old. You know what I mean? I don't know. Are you a religious person? Maybe confess. Go to the police station. Tell them about it. See what they say about it. You know what I mean? Go to your local cop shop and walk in and go, listen, man, I just got to get something off my chest. I stole some Bubblicious when I was 10. And, you know, I'm feeling some kind of way about it. I'm ready to go. And they'll be like, it's good, man. It's good. Let's get the fuck out of here. 700 miles east of Madagascar in the Indian Ocean. You told me that before. I'm sorry I forgot it. Thank you very much. No, I am not Santa. I am Santifa. Two hours of community service with no parole. It's not a lot of community service, is it? I'm just saying. Canada is a great smokers holiday. I don't know. Jamaica's pretty good too. We've been to Jamaica 3 times, and every time I've gone up to the top of Mount Zion to pay my respects to the final resting place of Bob Marley, and I'm amazed by the drive every time. Where did I get my I'm Just a Bill shirt? Amazon. The Maldives. The Maldives would be great to go to vacation on at big bucks. Did any of the Jamaicans say Yaman? Of course, all the time, everywhere you go. I love your video about the girl who talked about airbags in space. Oh, Jesus. People are so fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. Yeah, the weather in Jamaica is actually quite nice. And the farther up the mountain you go, oh, the better it gets. The better it gets. Airbags in space? Yeah, that was... I think it might be in one of the albums at the top of my page on TikTok about my cover bands, but... Was I good at math as a kid? No, I've never been good at math. Never. I was never good at memorizing my times tables. That wasn't my jam. Have you ever been to Montana or Vermont? Vermont, yes. Montana, no. I mean, listen, it's nice that Easter's on 420, but it's not going to be any different. I don't know what caused kids to destroy mailboxes. 4 months ago, you made a video about your MAGA neighbor who died. The audio, yeah, I don't know why the audio has been cutting off from time to time on some of those, specifically on the On This Day videos. I don't understand what's going on. No, username, I did not. Ottawa, London, hello. You're pretty good at math? Can I finish the story? What story am I finishing? Is there much MAGA where I live? Is a frog's ass watertight? Jesus is bringing the eggs this year? What is this? Yeah, luckily it's not on Trans Day, right? Could I write a quotation book on Donald J. Trump? I don't know. My next book is going to be on the history of marijuana in the United States. And then after that, if I get around to another book, that book would probably be about my atheism. New Jersey, what is your opinion about Chicago canceling the Cinco de Mayo parade? It's first I'm hearing about it. When is that book slated to come out? I have no idea. I've been working on it for 3 fucking years. I don't even know how many words do I have. It's not close. I know that. Let's see here. Manuscripts. I'm only at just under 100,000 words. Yeah, not even close to being ready to wrap up. Ash, take it easy. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can see. They're good enough at math to be a carpenter without a calculator. Thoughts on Metallica? I'm seeing them in a month from today at a festival in Columbus, Ohio. I dig Metallica, and I'm more of an old school Metallica type. This is Mr. Cliff Burton, the major rager on the 4-string motherfucker. Your job is chemistry, lots of math. Yeah, I could never do that. I mean, never mind the fact that I don't know how to do it. The math alone would just make me want to fucking light my head on fire. My doubt about God is that there's absolutely zero proof of his existence at all. Do I think tourism will suffer this summer? Yes, I do. I think that tourism is going to suffer here and probably other places that, there are going to be Americans that are going to be afraid to travel because they're going to be afraid that they're going to be able to even get back into the country they live in. No, I have never killed someone. Canadian tourism to Las Vegas is down dramatically. Florida, yeah, Canadians. A lot of Canadians who had their homes in Florida, they're packing up and leaving. My book talks about the demonization of marijuana in detail on all levels. Am I on the marijuana? Yeah, I had 3 injections just today. I'm crazed out of my mind. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to stop. Which neighbor are you talking about? Which story are you talking about? Jazz cigarettes? Yes, that is jazz cabbage. Broccoli wand, giggle bush. All of that shit. Yes, I did see that the SAVE Act passed, and now hopefully it gets defeated in the Senate. Wasn't I one of the customer or the characters in Reefer Madness? No, but 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. My office is a fucking disaster. There's so much stuff in it. It's the dumping grounds. Hang on. So, my closet doors. Let me show you across the top of my. I have some stuff in between the door of the bedroom and the closet doors, and some stuff over the door. Let me show you across the top of the closet there. It's all old school marijuana propaganda. There's the devil's shit, sorry. The Devil's Harvest. Burning Question. Reefer Madness. The Devil's Weed. Marijuana. Oh, that's the Burning Question, sorry. Marijuana Girl. So then what was this one over here? The fuck does it say up there? Yeah, the Burning Question as well. So it's all my cannabis. I got those on Amazon too. The cannabis propaganda all the way across the board there. This guy here is a friend of mine in Houston, Texas. He's a former astronaut that spent several months on the International Space Station and is now a NASA flight director. Nice behind the scenes tour of NASA, thanks to him. Anyway, you can get all of those on Amazon. Sorry. Oh yeah, the neighbor who died of the heart attack. Yeah, he was such a pain in the ass across the board. He hated me. But then again, I come to find out now he hated the other neighbor too that he lived right next door to, which was really fucked up. But yeah, he was just a miserable fucking prick, and kept telling me how I was going to drop dead of a heart attack because I was a fat fuck. He's been dead several years now as a result of a massive heart attack, and you know what I mean? Have I ever said the N-word? Far too many times for me to even count. You look like the marijuana and coffee type guy. You got half of it right. Can't stand coffee though. Yes, they do dye the river green in Chicago for St. Patrick's Day. It's a hell of a sight. You should look up some YouTube videos of it. Seriously, get a feel for it. Do I miss landscaping? Sometimes, but overall, no. I mean, I'm making way more money now. I don't even have to fucking put pants on to make my money now if I don't want to. I mean, I do, but I don't have to. Say the N-word hard R right now? No, because every time I ever said it, I was dead wrong. I didn't say I enjoyed saying it or I was right in saying it. I admitted that I have said it. Do you think there should be civic tests to vote? Absolutely not. No. You cannot impede a person's right to vote because they didn't pass a certain criteria. Chicago and Savannah, Georgia are the best St. Patty's Day celebrations. First time I'm hearing that about Savannah, Georgia, but right on. No, I don't think it should be a law that people have to vote either. It's still their choice. Oh, I am not going the OnlyFans route. There isn't a fucking soul on this planet that would pay to see me naked, and that includes my goddamn wife. 16-year-olds cannot vote, so that's not an issue at the moment, I don't believe. And yeah, if Bill Burr were the White House press secretary, it would be a fucking disaster. Thank you, Scarfy. I think there should be some cognitive/education test to run for president. It would be nice if the criteria was more than natural born citizen, at least 35 years of age, but you know what I mean? Oh, my wife would definitely not throw 20 my way. She would just wait for my ass to get in bed and go, now we're fucking, and I know that you're not going to say no, so get after it. What prompted this impromptu? Usually at this point in time at night, I'm just kind of chilling next to my wife. We're like relaxing at the end of the day. It's 20 minutes after 7 our time, so forth and so on. And she's with her mom, her sister, and one of our daughters at our nephew's musical. And the boy's doing his thing, right? He's doing his video game. So then I was just like, fuck it, let's just go live for a few minutes, see what happens. Somebody mentioned the t-shirt. Yes, the t-shirt is available in the store now as of today. Have the day you voted for. It's not a mean statement. It's not seditious. It sends a message while not being cruel. It literally tells people that you hope that they get exactly what they asked for. It's available in t-shirt, multiple colors, and it's available in coffee mugs. Probably have it on a hoodie by sometime next week. I'd be popular in the LGB bear community? What does that mean? Does that mean people who didn't vote get a nothing burger day? Probably. Thoughts on Joe Rogan? He's a tool. Have you ever thought about money? Of course. What an odd question. Natural born citizen between the ages of 35 and 70 having at least 10 years of public service would be a good start. I think 70 is too old. 65. Rogan can't be a tool. Tools are useful. Fair enough. Fair enough, I stand corrected. There will be vids of poor maggots actually eating their racism. Any friends of mine who support Trump aren't my friends. Thoughts on TYT? The Young Turks are all right. I don't have a problem with the Young Turks. I don't watch them, so I don't really have like a strong opinion one way or another. I don't believe that you should put the minimum age for a president at 50. I think that that's too old. I think 35 is fine. I think 35 is good. I think the Electoral College should be done away with. I think Luigi Mangione should be strapped in the chair and executed as soon as humanly possible. I never really had friends that voted. I had acquaintances that voted for Trump, and they're still acquaintances because if we're not, close friends, there's no reason to, uh, not be acquaintances with somebody because it's not really a close relationship. Luigi is not a hero, in my opinion. And Luigi is a murderer. Luigi did, for the right reasons, he did the very wrong thing. And that's the problem, is that if we are going to run around talking about how we need to be a society and a nation full of law, run by laws, and we don't like it when they use violence to get their end, then we can't like it when our people use it either. Is the man that he murdered, is that anybody to be celebrated? No. I mean, to his family, obviously, but that doesn't mean we go executing people. Now, listen, people will say he was morally right to do so, right? Just hear me out before you freak out on me. People will say he was morally right to do so and believe that he was morally right to do so. And my reply to you would be this: the people who attacked the Capitol building on January 6th believed they were morally right. So do they get a pass? Because they believed it every bit as the people who believe what Luigi did was morally right. So you know what I mean? Of course not. I mean, what kind of a question is that, Nover? Please ask serious questions, or I'm going to have to mute you too. And I don't want to do that because you've asked some good questions. The Young Turks are feuding a bit. Wipe or let crust? The fuck? Do you, anyone personally that attacked the Capitol? You want to rewrite that so it makes sense? Oh, somebody has a problem with Senk, I think is his name, over at the Young Turks. Like I said, I don't watch them, so I don't know what the hell's going on. They ultimately got a pass. J6ers and Al Moore, bold out among us. Thoughts on Snoop Dogg? He's a good artist. I find it weird that a former gangsta is now America's grandpa. Who do I watch or follow on YouTube? Oh, a handful of people. I mean, obviously some of the people that I followed over on from TikTok, Hawk and Mr. Global and whatnot. Nate Petrosky, definitely. I don't know. There are, like, I get into all different kinds of content. It's not just political content. I get into homesteading content, and I get into gardening content, and I get into, sometimes I'll just be watching a bear take down a moose or something, and then that'll go into like movie clips, and then that'll go into learning how to build your own windmill or some shit. So I am America's grandpa? Good God, we're fucked. Just Dan, thank you very much for the tip. Let me see what he said here. I went by. To clarify, just some form of civic or competency requirements for voting, not to suppress people, but to protect democracy. I know, but if you start putting tests like that, then you are denying people who can't pass those tests the ability to exercise their rights. And that's when the right is to vote, that's a problem. You know what I mean? Woman thinking parachutes are airbags. Yeah. It's the woman that didn't think space was real. Astronauts she didn't think were real. And that it's impossible to fall to the earth even with the airbags in the sky, which were parachutes, because you're still screaming towards the water at such a speed that hitting it would be like hitting cement. And she said that all of the stuff that we saw from space was actually shot in Hollywood. So she's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? She's one of those people that believes like fucking birds aren't real, and when you see the birds sitting on the wires, it's because they're recharging or some shit. When is my action figure coming out? Oh, never. Thank you very much, Scarfy, for the tip. Dropped contact with family voting for Trump cause I'm staring hate in the face. What would you say to keeping head up and build strong trust with chosen family? As I always say, don't take advice from strangers online, but just because they share your blood doesn't mean they're your family. This has always been my opinion. My family is who is in my life. And who's in my life is who I choose to be in my life. And some of those people are blood related, and a lot of those people aren't. I've heard the FCC lists Fox News as entertainment. Fox News is listed as entertainment because Fox News argued in court that they're entertainment. People were trying to hold Fox News liable for the lies and bullshit that they spread in the news, and Fox News literally sent their lawyers into court to say that they shouldn't be held liable for the information being true or not because they're not technically a news organization, they're an entertainment outlet. You haven't answered my question. Well, forgive the living dog shit out of me. There's 136 people in here asking questions. Maybe I should just slow everything down and wait for you to ask it again. My apologies. Wipe. I thought that was clear. Wow. If you guys haven't upgraded your phones and you think you want to in the next 6 months, do it now. Remember, our phones come from China. He's not backing off with China, and China keeps ramping up their tariffs, and now we're in a full-blown tariff war, and they're saying that new iPhones could run upwards of $3,500. I just replaced, here's 2 of them. I just replaced 5 of our lines this past week. Fuck that shit. I am not paying $3,500 a phone. Fuck that shit. Oh, they can be titled Fox News, but they are labeled as an entertainment organization. You don't have to buy Apple. The day after Rupert Murdoch is pushing up daisies, Fox News will look exactly the same. I have been with Apple for over 20 years. I am not going anywhere else. We was just at the store today dealing with an issue with a couple of these phones having the wrong information on them. 23 years we've had our account with Verizon, and it's all been Apple products. Almost all Apple. I'm not going anywhere. I bet they're trying to get phones into the country right now, but I'll tell you what, man, if you're not upgrading your phone right now, if you think you're going to do it in 6 months, you are going to pay 3 times as much. Do you think Mike Johnson got stuffed in lockers as a kid? I don't know, man, but dude he is an evil little fuck. Back to the chair, though. You sit in it for hours. I do sit in it, like, if you were working in an office. I get up and walk around a lot during the day. My wife and I go on errands during the day. You know, I make content, but it's when I feel like making content, and then I get it all released at some point in time and then scheduled for the various platforms. But this chair here, if you're on TikTok, that's where it came from. If you're not on TikTok, I don't know what to tell you. But if you are on TikTok and you know my account on TikTok, I have my showcase of products that I get commissioned for, and it's in that list, the chair. It is a big and tall chair. It's designed for up to 375, I think. He's nice. He's nice. As a matter of fact, talk to the chair. I'll be right back. Damn. This office is hot boxing. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. I didn't realize how pertinent it was. You know what I'm saying? It's like fucking... Whatever. It is what it is. Is the chair made in China or America? I'll bet dollars to donuts it's not made here. Have you ever reviewed... Hang on a second. Oh, yeah, Benny Johnson? That's the guy that was getting paid by the news outlet out of, I want to say, Georgia, who was getting all of their financing from Russian state media. Yeah, look it up on TikTok and see if you like it. Do you smoke cigars? No. I hope the U.S. recovers. Yeah. When you're writing your books, are you using the keyboard? Up until now, it's been all keyboard, but I want to use the voice. That would be nice to be able to finish this fucking book. Denny Hassert was pure scum. Pure scum. Blago? Blago was pardoned by Trump. Yep. Rod Blagojevich went to prison. The dude blackmailed a children's hospital and tried to sell Barack Obama's seat. And fucking Trump pardoned him. He tried to sell a U.S. Senate seat. What kind of cigarettes did I smoke? Well, we quit smoking on Memorial Day 2020, and for the 6 to 8 years prior to that, we rolled our own. So it was a certain brand of tobacco that I couldn't remember the name of to save my life. But prior to that, when we bought, actual prepackaged, pre-rolled cigarettes, I was a Camel Light guy for the longest time. Prior to that, Marlboro Light. Prior to that, Marlboro. Prior to that, Camels. Prior to that, Winston's. What do we got here? Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I always appreciate your feedback. Thank you very much. Do you think any accountability is going to come for these people, MAGA, Trump, etc.? Probably not all of them. Not the ones that really deserve it. Some of them at some point in time. Midterms, we need to show up in the midterms. We got to stop with the. I don't agree with the 100% of that candidate. We got to stop with that fucking bullshit. That bullshit got us trumped twice. Did you like the 80s? Did I like the 80s is the question. Did I like the 80s? Does Dolly Parton sleep on her back? Does the Pope wear a funny hat? Is a frog's ass watertight? Did Houston have a problem? Yeah. I'm not a big wing guy. You know what I mean? I'm not a big wing guy. And when I have wings, I prefer like a couple of different sauces, usually a nice barbecue that isn't too nuts, a hot, regular like buffalo, and then maybe like a jerk. Oh, that would be that trio right there. But I'm not a huge wing guy. That's if I'm going to have wings. I don't know who Irving Alexis Figueroa is, and if you were blocked, there's a reason why you were blocked. Do I believe Elvis is still alive? No. No. Garlic Parmesan wings, that would be something my wife would really dig. Your father cannot retire now because his 401k went down so bad. A whole lot of people lost a lot of value. A restaurant near you that sells chicken balls. Chunks of white meat, chicken coated and deep fried. Usually cover them with Carolina Gold. Interesting. I don't drink, so I don't say anything before I drink. Lingua taco is very good. Yes. What? Lemon pepper wet pretty much tells me where I'm from. Everybody's got their own thing, you know what I mean? I don't dig on casseroles at all. I don't do casseroles. Cubs or White Sox? Cubs. I'm a Cubs guy. Do you think Garcia Maryland dad, who sent El Salvador, is still alive? I hope he is. Do I cook? I have, yes. Renee has gone back to taking over most of the cooking now. When I was retired and she was working, I did most of the cooking in the last few years. English muffin pizzas, haven't had those in a hot minute. One of the tricks to English muffin pizzas that I always forget whenever I go back to making an English muffin pizza is I forget to toast the English muffin first, and that's critical. You got to toast the English muffin first, then you dress that English muffin, and then you pop it back in the oven for a bit. Deviled eggs with bacon jam. Nover, don't spam. Okay, don't spam the chat. Okay, I don't know what you're trying to ask, and I got to be honest with you, I don't care. A month ago, I moved all 401k to low risk. Yeah, that's probably a very wise move because holy shit. Have I seen the moon? I mean, yeah. Like, have I been to it or have I looked up and seen it? Chris, always. Red, don't ask me. Have you ever seen the rain coming down? What is this? Have you seen the moon tonight? Well, not yet. I mean, it's still somewhat light out. Somewhat, of course. Best place you visited? Probably Jamaica. New Orleans is... I like New Orleans a lot. Too cloudy in Jersey to see the moon tonight. Has anyone found out if Annie is okay? I'm sure she's fine. It's been a few years. Is Beat It Van Halen's best guitar solo? No, I think Panama still is, even in its simplistic state. How old am I? I will be 53 on May 13th, in about a month. Are you familiar with how AI, when asked, sides with Democratic policies over Republican? I just find that so interesting that AI can decipher. Yeah. Favorite guitarist? Favorite guitarist? Jimi Hendrix. Best guitarist? Eddie Van Halen. I'm just a baby. No, I can't go look at the moon. Do you like Thin Lizzy? I could maybe name a couple of songs, maybe. Do I like Rush? Yes. Yes. Have you seen Breaking Bad? No. You guys could rattle off TV shows for days, and I probably haven't seen any of them. Never saw an episode of Breaking Bad. Never saw an episode of Game of Thrones. Never saw an episode of Sons of Anarchy. Never saw an episode of The Sopranos. Never saw an episode of Orange is the New Black. Yes, Angus is still rocking. Pink Floyd over Deep Purple any day of the week. Do I want to smoke a joint? Yeah. Do I like Fish, the band? No. No, I don't. Who? Somebody asked a stupid question? Sorry. I must have missed it. You like Stevie Ray Vaughan over Eddie Van Halen any day? Well, luckily for me, I get to be surrounded by both of them while working. There's Eddie Van Halen right there, in between ZZ Top and the Eagles. There's Eddie. Then I turn on the computer in front of me. There's Jimmy. Stevie. Oh, there's no way I could find a video like just. I think I'm at or over 30,000 videos on TikTok right now, and I post anywhere from 17 to 35 a day. But I am going to wrap this up shortly, so get your questions in. Hang on one second. I got to do something really quick before I read your questions, before we do a little final round here. I got to get this set up for when this closes down. Okay, content. Today's the 11th, correct? Correct. I don't know why I just talked to a bunch of people that can't, like, audibly speak back to me. Then again, I don't know why I'm continuing to have this conversation with myself momentarily. Come on, why is this taking forever to load? This is no bueno. Here we go. Yeah, something must be going fucking goofy. Hang on one second, though. How does what affect LeBron's legacy? Did he get bounced or something? I haven't been following. Download. And 5, 4, 3, 2, your mama. All right. Change. Bada boom. Save. Emmanuel Hernandez, thank you very much for the tip. I greatly appreciate it, my friend. What's going on here? Why is this doing this? Hang on a second. Change. Upload. Save. It's taking a minute to save. No. The trifecta, you're talking about one party rule? No. Did you ever eat Taco Bell? I'm a fat stoner landscaper. Yeah. I've had Taco Bell a time or two. Thoughts on Oasis the band? I don't know. They're subpar. Eating Taco Bell doesn't hurt me. It doesn't that much. It doesn't hurt me. This is fucking odd. Anyway, I need to go feed the cats and figure out what I'm going to do the rest of this evening. Thank you guys all for showing up. I appreciate it. As always, when in doubt, order the tacos. Never forget that bones heal, pain is temporary, and chicks dig scar. All right? Hasta lasagna.